Peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210, and you're tuned into the Power of Ownership podcast. I got my guest host Rachel here.
Hi everyone.
And we're going to go ahead and get started. She's going to introduce herself shortly, but let's go ahead and introduce the podcast, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, if this is your first time tuning in to the Power of Ownership podcast, not only we talk about ownership of properties, intellectual properties, businesses, and so on and so forth. We also talk about ownership of the mind, body, and soul. So we talk about the holistic approach to ownership. Yes. Also, if this is your first time tuning in, we take all questions and we answer them live at the end. So if you got any questions, go ahead and type it in, and I'll go and get to it at the end of the show. Again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon. I am a published author. My book, Sales, the Nucleus of Any Profession, is out right now on Amazon. You can just type my name in, Brandon B. Dixon, and Amazon search bar will pop up. So go ahead and copy that. If you are a sales professional, this is a must-have. You know, I'm a mortgage broker by trade. My company, the Home Ownership Community, is licensed by Nexa. So we got a nice partnership with Nexa right now. So if you want to go ahead and apply for a mortgage, go to my website, www.applywithb.com. I'm accepting clients right now. So if you need any type of loan, I got it. I got over 200 banks. I have land loans. I have commercial. I have residential. I have anything you need, basically. I got it. Rehab, construction. A lot of people doing that right now. Go ahead and hit me up, www.applywithb. Or you can book me for a consultation there as well. There's a spot where you can book me for a Zoom call. So if you want a private consultation, I do that as well. Rachel, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Yes.
And we can go ahead and get to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, appreciate it.
My name is Rachel Lopez. I'm from Houston, Texas.
All right.
I'm with Texas United Realty now. I've been a realtor now for almost 8 years.
Okay.
8 years in the business. So sales all my life.
Gotcha.
Customer service, but now 8 years in the business.
Gotcha.
Also am a mentor at Texas United. So any new agents out there, or if you're thinking about getting in the business, give me a contact. I'll help you.
What's that information? How do you?
My cell phone number, you can reach me directly at any time, 832-207-3799.
Gotcha.
Yeah, call me anytime. I'll help you, get into the business classes, and then if you are new, help you grow your business.
All right, so that's a different. We usually have seasoned realtors on the show, but now we have a mentor. So if y'all watching the show, I don't know if you're familiar with the show at all, but we mostly got nerds. Oh. So we have people that most people listen to us.
Awesome.
You know, so we're just developing a YouTube audience, but we're big on Apple and Spotify, so most people listen to us. So we got the people that's overachievers. Okay. We got the top 1% that's trying to get better. That's right. So some people are either, our audience is people that's trying to get into the business, or people that's in the business already trying to get better. Okay. You know, so that's what we do. That's a
perfect fit. Yeah.
Right. We try to enhance people's business.
Yes. Yeah. I'm here to help grow businesses.
Right. Grow business.
Yeah. Exactly. Honestly, taking ownership in my own business, in my own life, and leaving sales for other people, other big companies, which are amazing to do in corporate life, but to branch off and do for one's own. It takes time, it takes strength, motivation, but now I'm at the point where I'm able to give that back, help other people grow their business just the same.
Gotcha. So, originally from Houston, born and raised?
Well, from the Valley, I would say Texas, but Houston, A-Leaf, Texas, born and raised.
Gotcha. And so, you've been in the business 8 years?
8 years.
And you have a customer service background. What did you do before?
And
what led you to the business?
Sales, always sales. I mean,
so
since very young.
And that's rare as well. Most realtors don't embrace the salesperson moniker.
No. I think my first sale was a chicken egg on the side of the road.
Gotcha. So you embrace sales from the get-go.
Completely. Yeah, I knew that I wanted to take my sales game and go to the top. I think one time I said, to the highest or form of sales, go into real estate. You can't be a millionaire, or millionaires don't become millionaires without owning real estate. Right. So I wanted to get into that channel, but all sales takes a long time.
Right.
To develop, and always if you know the product, then you're able to teach it and sell it. So that's what I wanted, the highest form, real estate, and just kind of channeled everything into that. You know, my studies, my my growth in that manner went towards sales and marketing.
Gotcha. So let's talk about this. So let's talk about your why. All right. So you why real estate? So there's all kinds of things you can sell.
Yes.
Why real estate, and what is your why for like getting out of bed? Why real estate, and why do you do what you do every day?
Yes. I think I had a passion really, really young, and there wasn't a reason why, really.
Okay.
But as I've grown and I've realized what real estate has done for me personally, the platform that has given me to grow as a person to the next level, I want to share that with the next person.
Okay.
If somebody's always trying to move, there's always somebody who's looking for the next home. There's somebody who doesn't know how to get there.
Right.
Too many people.
Right.
I'm Hispanic. My parents still don't own a home to this day.
Gotcha. They didn't go to you for the help them to get a
No,
house?
now they're with, we take care of them.
Gotcha.
As a family, Hispanic family, we take care of the elders. Now they're elders.
Right, gotcha.
But I mean, as a younger, that wasn't taught to me.
Right.
That wasn't taught in our community.
Gotcha.
To be at a higher level.
Right.
So now that I've gotten here, I want to give back.
Gotcha,
I want to give back to those people who didn't realize you could actually go out there and get a real estate license. For not that much, you can create your own business.
Right.
And have people calling you, supporting them, helping them grow their business. So.
Gotcha. So basically what I'm gathering is that you basically are more of the servant role. You want to make sure that people didn't experience what you experienced with the lack of knowledge. So you want to be out there up front to giving the knowledge and then helping people to go through with the actual experience.
Yes.
So.
And I think as I was in corporate business, and in sales, you give your clients a phone number and an email address that belongs to a corporate business. When you walk away, nobody follows you.
Right.
They stay there.
They're in love with the brand.
They're in love with the brand.
Right.
You built their brand.
Right, exactly.
At some point, I realized I didn't want to walk away from the people that I've served and serviced for so many years.
Okay.
I wanted them to have my same number, be able to call me forever.
You want to build your own.
Build my own.
Build your own brand.
Don't give back that phone number and lose everything that you've done for years.
Gotcha. So let's, on the next segment here, I want to talk about, so now that you've been in the business, what have been some of the things that you find successful to get business? You don't have to give away all the secret sauce, but what do you do once you pass your circle in your sphere of influence? What do you do to get business, and what do you do to actually maintain your referral base and get referrals and stuff like that?
Yes. So I started off very early in my career just doing what I've done always.
What is that?
On the phones, dialing.
Gotcha.
I'm a dialer, quote unquote, what they call it. A lot of people are scared to jump on the phones. A lot of people are scared to.
So don't forget this audience. Some of them don't know.
Yeah.
So I got the segment that are trying to get into the business, and I got the people that's in the business. So, but those that don't know, when you say jump on the phone, what do you mean?
Gathering a lead from a lead source and being able to contact them.
Yeah, so where do you get these sources? Because a lot of people are, who do I dial?
Yes. There's a lot of lead generation companies for real estate out there.
For a lead generation company.
Yes.
So you pay them and then they give you a list of names to call.
Yes, and a lot of times I'm liking to call expired people who haven't been able to sell their properties.
Okay.
Or for sale by owners.
Okay.
Owners that are trying to do it on their own.
Okay. And they got a list of people that supply that they charge you for this.
Yes.
Okay. And so, but how is that working so far for you?
Oh, that's what's pretty much maintained my business.
Okay.
When I started off, in the beginning, there are very many channels to real estate and marketing.
Right.
But since I dialed and I was able to communicate and touch so many people in that manner, I was able to grow relationships and repeat business.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this. So what's the closing percentage on that? So out of 100 people, how many out of that list you looking to actually do business? As you dial, if I dial 100 people off that list, how many people actually You
So
get paid
33 calls.
33 calls. Okay.
1 appointment.
Okay.
And I normally gain the lead.
So about
the listing.
So about 3 out of 100.
3 out of 100.
Gotcha. So
and that's people that you're actually dialing, and then actually, but it could be no's in between that 33. It could be voicemails in between that 33.
So this is for our audience. So you're looking at 100 calls, 3 people actually gonna do business.
And the minimum home is 2,500 or more.
Right. 2,500. I mean 2,500. Yeah. Yep. So
sale of a home.
Right. So. Yeah, so I mean, so this looking at the workload, so we pragmatic on this show to kind of give them an idea of what's to come from it. So besides calling, how else do you get referrals?
Oh, social media marketing.
Okay.
As well as flyers, mail outs.
So what does that mean? So don't forget, we pragmatic. So what social media?
Social media marketing, Facebook marketing.
Facebook. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so, Facebook marketing, posting, not only. Flyers, open house, options when they're available, but also just putting out there what's available to the people.
So you take the listing and you just post it on Facebook, and do you boost the listing? What do you do?
I was doing boosting for a while.
Okay.
Boosting is great. You can put $5 and target a certain market, but as well just Facebook Marketplace, which is free and simple.
Right.
You just post on Facebook Marketplace.
Marketplace, and do you get any bites off of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all kind of bites. You have to filter through.
Gotcha. A lot of scams and stuff.
Oh, you always got to filter through. Who's going to be the right client.
Right.
But just like the for sale by owners, regular people, a lot of investors, a lot of people with bad credit.
Right.
They're always going to reach out. So
gotcha.
That's why you should have the the knowledge and the professionalism to be able to get the right client.
Right. So you mainly on the listing side or you on the buyer side?
I love listing.
Right. Listing is lasting, right?
Yeah, I'm a listing agent, 100%, but I support my buyers.
Gotcha.
I am a 100% buyer's agent as well.
How do you usually get buyers? I know the listing you talk about with the cold calls listing, so how do you get buyers now?
Buyers come with listings, they do.
Okay, so there's the open houses and stuff like that?
Also.
Okay.
But anybody who's listing mostly has to move.
Okay, gotcha. So you do both sides.
I do.
Okay, so explain that to the. Don't forget some of the audience.
Service.
Right.
So
how does that
sales, you have to have a listing agent. Listing agent sells the home.
Okay.
And then you have a buying agent, and the buying agent brings the buyer to the listing agent, to the seller.
So how does that work where you get both?
So there's intermediary relationships. As long as the seller, the client, your client is okay with intermediary relationships, and you disclose that intermediary relationship to the buyer as well, that you represent the seller and that you owe them fair and your fiduciary duties, everything, truth. You cannot disclose, of course, pricing or what your seller has discussed with you, but you're putting in the offer for the buyer.
So walk us through how that happens. So you're saying that you post it on Facebook or whatever, you got a listing, and then they ask about the buyer, and you say, are you working with a realtor?
That's right. That's the main thing.
Right, and they say no, so they say...
Everybody's going to say no, though.
Right. And then,
everybody's going to say yes.
Then you get them to sign this form or whatever saying that you represent the seller.
Yes.
And then you're able to represent both sides.
Yes.
So basically you kind of marketing your listing, and hopefully you get somebody that's not already...
with an agent.
With an agent.
Yes.
And you're able to do both sides.
Yes.
Gotcha. Any other way you get buyers on...
Buyers are contacting the listing agents.
Okay.
Buyers are doing their due diligence. They're driving around.
Okay.
And they're looking at signs, and they're calling us.
Okay.
So if you don't have an agent, we want to support you too. We want to give the buyer that.
Right.
That help.
How often is that? Usually people call an agent first. That's on the card, or how do they usually do it? They usually call from
it's a mix.
The sign or digital?
It's a mix.
Gotcha.
It's a mix. It's a mix where clients come from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the areas, different areas. So I work, several different areas in Houston. Some areas like downtown Houston, Denver Harbor, where there are more community families have been there a long time. You have to have a sign in the yard.
Okay.
That's where your business is going to come from.
Right.
But other communities like Katy, for instance, they're going to look on social media. They're going to be, you know, they're
more
gonna,
millennials.
Yes, more millennials, you know. So it depends on the area where you're going to cater to.
Gotcha. So before we move to the next segment, which is one of the last segments, I usually do what I call like kind of spike up what you're saying.
Okay.
So I kind of take what you said and kind of use part of the book to kind of see how I can enhance what you're saying. So let's just take it retro. So the first thing you said that you use the dialer and you use the calls, you use those lead gen. The thing, I think we talked about this off camera. I think with that, it's a little bit outdated because, with the technology, with the spam filters. What I would do is I would use more of the targeting, and pixels. And what that is, if ever, we talked about this on the last podcast, is that the technology is there where you could use your search engine. Well, people, if you say something, because when you allow Google to use your voice, it's still recording 24/7.
Right.
So you say, sell my house in Katy.
Yes.
My ad's gonna pop up.
Yes. Those
in your feed, and it's gonna be on your
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. It's gonna be on your Facebook. It's gonna be on your Instagram. So I'm gonna keep targeting you until you click on my ad.
Yes.
And it's called retargeting. I'm gonna keep retargeting. Because you said that you're in the business. Or if I Google, I type in how do I sell my house in Katy?
Yes.
My ad's gonna pop up. So that's people waving their hands saying, I need a certain specific service.
Yes.
So instead of calling from a vast list that maybe or maybe not, I'm really pinpointing a customer that's a possible customer. So digitally. So when they click on that ad, then from there, I'm going to capture their information. I capture their IP address. I capture, if they're on a cell phone. So now I'm going to keep retargeting them. If they don't put their information in, I'm going to keep retargeting them. If they do put their information in, I'm calling them.
Yes.
Because you said, hey, you're looking for boom.
Right.
And here I am. You know what I mean? So I have more of a chance to convert.
Right.
Because you said that you were looking for this.
Right.
I'm not just calling you randomly or arbitrarily.
Right.
You said you're looking for this.
Right.
So you have more of a, people want to get what they want.
Yes.
So that's kind of new age. So
yes.
So technology. So the same money, and probably the same money, if not less, that costs for lead gen, I would switch that to maybe going to maybe a company that helps you with your pixels and with your your targeting and retargeting.
Well, you have to be smart about lead gen. I literally sat down with a mortgage broker, a different mortgage broker, just a couple of days ago, and she was purchasing leads. Literally hurt my heart. Spending $5,000 on lead packets. And then, just like you said, more dialing.
Dialing for dollars.
Dialing for dollars. This is more specific. Though I am. That's why I'm here, Brandon. I'm here for you to get me together. On that side, but when you dial for sale by owners, these are people who are selling their property.
They're selling their property.
They just don't know how to do it. And as long as you keep dialing and calling them back, getting them, because some people work in the morning, some people work at night, depending on what your consistency is when you call, you're going to get somebody. So it's, but no, the new age is where we're going. These millennials are buying 25, 24, we're putting them in homes. We're putting them in duplexes. They're buying them for business. They're also then moving on and purchasing more. Those are the people we want to hit as well.
Well, just like I said, because we, time-wise, just to actually, especially with millennials, it looks a little bit more impressive. Hey, I put my information in and you call me right away. As opposed to, who's this? And what do you want? How do you know that? How do you get my information? So you have that awkwardness. So instead of a cold call, it's more of a warm call because you just told me to call you, right? You're on my website, right? You said give you a call, right? Here I am.
It's more direct.
So it cuts.
They're looking for you to call them.
They're looking for you to call. So it's almost like, just a quick story. I don't want to ramble too long, but I'll give you a quick story. So I was looking for somebody to replace my fence. and I just Googled fence, replacement Katie.
Yes.
And it looked like a website all of a sudden that popped up. So I thought this was a real business. But it actually wound up being a sales funnel. Are you also familiar with sales funnels?
Yes.
So it wound up being a sales funnel for Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a disguised funnel. It looked like a company, but it was actually a sales funnel for Angeles. So multiple people called me.
Yes.
So that's what sales funnel are. A lot of the sites, they say 50% of the sites now and 50% of the people that you see on Instagram and everything like that are bots and sales funnels. So they're not, it's not like the Yellow Pages back in the day.
Right.
Where all right, I got this address, and you'll go to this address, and it's not really a company. It's a funnel for something else.
Yes.
So that's the new age. You just waved your hand and said, I want to get a fence.
Yes.
So everybody that's in that area, that is going to be calling me.
Yes.
And they sell in that particular space that it's called digital real estate. They sell in that space because it's optimal for people that's in that particular funnel.
Yes.
So that's why it's called a sales funnel. The second thing, I'm going to wrap this up real quick because we're running out of time. It's almost the time goes by quick, right?
Is it 30 minutes?
Yeah. All right. So the second thing is, I would, me personally, when I do get somebody listing, this is what I used to do all the time, and I used to ask for referrals right then and there.
Yes.
I talk about my first chapter of my book is called Reciprocity. So my mentor, Mattress Back, always talk about this. You got to make a deposit before you make a withdrawal. So right at the heat of the sale, after I get that house sold, a contract, I'm going to ask for referrals right then and there.
Right.
Because it's almost like making out.
Yes.
It's the heat of the moment. The moment's gone.
Yeah.
You can't tell that girl, hey, all right, yeah, I know it's getting hot and heavy right now. Can we continue this next Tuesday? So people ask for referrals a week later, 2 weeks later. Nah. As soon as while we at the closing table, and the endorphins there, you about to get this big check, and you sold for above asking price. Hey, customer, give me a list of 5 people that can use my services right now.
Yes. Yes.
And here, write this down on this paper.
Definitely ask for referrals.
Right. So and then from there, instead of cold calling, now it's a warm call because hey, I just had Mr. Customer. I just helped him sell this house for above asking price. He told me to call you. He said that you might be listed. So instead of, cause now I got 5 people that I know. It's a warm call now.
Yes.
So think about if those 3, I close those 3, that's 15. I get 5 each or 10 each or whatever. Now I'm creating my own list.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. You gotta
follow them.
kind of maximize your referral base.
Yeah.
So